the lack of, well, proof that she's been in the gym working on her craft, trying to hone her skills after what can only be described as one of the worst shooting seasons anybody's ever seen in the history of basketball.
Angel Reese is back in the spotlight, but this time, it's not for a red carpet event or social media moment. It's for a practice video that's got fans shaking their heads. In the WNBA offseason, players are sharpening their skills and prepping for the next big leap, either by going overseas or hitting the practice gym. Reese has released a training clip that's left many wondering, what is she really focusing on? Fans are scratching their heads as there's a clear disconnect between what she's working on compared to her on-court struggles. This move is already fueling debates about dedication and priorities, bringing her off-season decisions under intense scrutiny. Meanwhile, comparisons with fellow star Caitlin Clark are inevitable. Clark's videos showcase rigorous training, with drills that align perfectly with her on-court strengths. This contrast couldn't be clearer, raising the stakes for Reese as observers start to question whether her focus is on enhancing her game or boosting her brand. Is this truly Reese wanting to improve, or is this just another on-camera moment to get eyes on her? Stick around as we dive deeper into what's really going on, the intense fan reactions, and what we can expect for the 2025 season. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
When she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA. Any which way you put it, she shot bad from the field. All right, she's 6'3" and she plays under the basket, and she shot 39.1% from the field.
When Angel Reese dropped her much-anticipated practice video, fans expected to see growth. Proof that she was taking this offseason seriously to address her game, especially after months of red carpet appearances and social media rants. Remember this?
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah,
Is
it covers
it,
that. It
is
definitely
it,
covers that.
What is my? I don't even know my salary. No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
But instead of showing drills focused on shoring up her inside game, the video revealed a surprising emphasis on three-point shooting and mid-range jumpers. This choice left many puzzled. For a player whose main role involves playing under the basket, at 6'3", fans were quick to question why she was practicing moves that didn't align with her in-game needs. The backlash was swift and relentless. Comments flooded social media, pointing out her dismal shooting statistics: 39.1% from the field and 44.5% from less than 5 feet under the basket, one of the worst in history given the volume of her attempts. These numbers are concerning for any player, let alone someone expected to be a cornerstone of her team's offense. Fans drew comparisons to infamous practice clips from NBA players like Ben Simmons, who also showcased impressive-looking skills in the offseason that rarely translated to game-time performance.
Ben Simmons caught an amazing amount of stray bullets. An amazing amount. I guess Ben Simmons is known to release one of these propaganda kind of videos every year now.
The similarity wasn't flattering, and Reese's critics latched onto it as further evidence that she might be more concerned with optics than real progress. As one fan puts it, "Teach her how to make a layup, please." This video fueled deeper conversations among analysts, who dissected the footage and highlighted the disconnect between her training focus and the areas where she needed real improvement. While flashy three-point shots may look impressive in a practice setting, they don't solve the core issue of her inefficient inside scoring and reliance on offensive rebounds, many of which come from her own missed shots. Analysts pointed out that Reese's practice should be emphasizing consistency in her interior game and refining her ability to finish under pressure, especially considering her height and role on the team. One fan even said she needs to be fixing her form and her shot first before posting all these practice videos of awkward jump shots.
I'm trying to figure out why she's putting so much time in developing an outside shot when she works under the basket, primarily. You get a rebound, or you're going to try to run out there all of a sudden and shoot a three, even though you got perimeter players that are standing around waiting for you to pass them the ball so they can shoot wide open shots. it could potentially be a horrible season for the Chicago Sky.
The critical voices weren't just limited to fans and media. Observers noted that this wasn't the first time Reese's priorities during the offseason raised questions. Her highly visible social media presence, which often showcased glamorous events and podcast highlights, fed into the perception that basketball might not be her primary focus. The practice video only amplified those doubts, painting a picture of a player whose off-season decisions might be more about maintaining attention than making genuine strides in her game. The timing of the video also played a role in shaping the reactions. With the 2025 season fast approaching and competition in the league only getting fiercer, fans and analysts alike expected Reese to demonstrate a commitment to the basics: layups, defensive maneuvers, and rebounding drills that would bolster her effectiveness on the court. Instead, they were met with a video that seemed to miss the mark.
And I'm wondering, a lot of the videos we see with Caitlin Clark, she's got actual men, grown men out there in her face trying to keep her from making shots and this and that and the other. There's not a lot of hands in Angel Reese's face here. And I am confused by the fact that she's trying to become this long-range player, it looks like. This is... she plays under the basket, or we thought she was playing under the basket.
So, what's the bigger picture here? Is Reese focusing on boosting her game, or is this part of a larger pattern that fans have noticed before? And just how deep does the criticism go? If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
Every night, and look, as an organization, we just felt it was time to make a change. There's just private issues that I think we will keep just in the Sky locker room.
Just as fans and analysts were dissecting Angel Reese's practice video, Chicago Sky's head coach Tyler Marsh stepped into the conversation, intentionally or not. In a recent press conference, Marsh's comments on Reese were clear. Improvement was necessary, and commitment to the basics was non-negotiable. Marsh praised Reese's raw talent, but didn't shy away from emphasizing that talent alone wouldn't sustain her in a competitive league. This wasn't just coach speak. It was a public acknowledgement that the expectations for Reese had risen, and that potential must be backed by relentless work. For many, this was a message putting Reese on notice.
If Angel Reese doesn't improve her offensive efficiency, she can't be a franchise player. Her IG followers aren't going to help her win games. Eventually, the need for quality will beat mediocrity. Amen. That's a great comment right there. It really is. Yeah, you're not building a championship contender around Reese, considering she's a rebounding role player. She's a good player, but she'd be better off the bench as an energy player. She's not an MVP caliber player because she can't shoot outside of the paint or inside.
For Chicago Sky fans, Marsh's comments struck a chord. The backlash had already been simmering in fan forums, with many expressing frustration over what they saw as misplaced focus and inconsistent on-court performances. One fan bluntly wrote, "Angel Reese creates more scoring opportunities for herself with missed shots than made ones." Another chimed in, suggesting, "She's great on social media, but her efficiency doesn't match her spotlight." These critiques weren't just noise. They underscored a genuine concern about her priorities.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The criticism didn't stop with her shooting numbers. Observers noted the stark contrast between Reese and her teammate Camila Cardoso, who had gained a reputation for consistency and strong fundamentals. "If we're talking about building a franchise, we need someone who isn't distracted," one fan posted. Cardoso, without the media fanfare and public appearances, was seen as the steady contributor Reese should aim to be. Discussions around Reese's role in the team also intensified. Some fans and analysts argued that Reese's place as a starter should be reconsidered, suggesting she might serve better as an energy player coming off the bench until her efficiency improved. This wasn't just a jab at her abilities, but a strategic take on what would benefit the team. Others took it further, speculating that unless Reese shifted her focus and worked on the basics, like finishing under pressure and minimizing errors, she could see her minutes dwindle. "Her IG followers can't help her score in the fourth quarter," a seasoned fan commented.
And it just leaves you scratching your head as to what exactly is going on. Is Angel Reese trying to be an influencer, or is she trying to be a basketball player?
These reactions posed a bigger question. Could Reese balance her off-court persona which included podcasts, sponsorships, and social media stardom with the demands of a top-tier professional athlete. And was she prepared to make those adjustments and prove her critics wrong? The intensity of the conversation around her wasn't just about one video. It pointed to a deeper scrutiny of how she approached her career and what she valued most. What do the legends of the game have to say?
But now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle. It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlin ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall off.
When Sue Bird, a four-time WNBA champion and one of the most respected voices in basketball, speaks, people listen. Bird's recent comments couldn't have come at a more pivotal moment for Angel Reese. In an interview, Bird emphasized the importance of keeping basketball the main thing, a principle that has been the backbone of her own illustrious career. This advice, simple but profound, serves as a quiet warning for players like Reese, whose off-court activities are starting to overshadow their on-court performance. Bird's legacy is built not just on her accolades, but on her relentless focus and discipline. Even as she secured endorsements and engaged in media ventures, Bird ensured that her basketball commitments never took a backseat. This dedication made her not only a legend on the court, but also a respected figure who younger players look up to. When Bird pointed out the risk of straying too far from basketball, it was a subtle nudge for players like Reese to recalibrate before it's too late.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
Bird's words resonated with fans who were already questioning Reese's priorities. The contrast with players like Caitlin Clark, who seamlessly balances public appearances and intense training, amplified the message. Bird's statement wasn't just a passing comment. It was a reflection of growing concerns within the WNBA community. The question everyone was asking: can Reese maintain her star status without placing basketball at the forefront?
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jamison. You know who Antoine Jamison is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
Interestingly, this concern isn't just coming from external voices. Shaquille O'Neal, a former LSU star and Reese's mentor, recently made waves with his candid comment on her podcast. Shaq, who has always been vocal in his support, surprised many when he noted that Reese's current trajectory felt more like that of a role player than a future star. For someone who has often been in Reese's corner, this critique underscored a reality that even her biggest advocates couldn't ignore. Talent needs nurturing, focus, and consistency to translate into greatness.
Shaq just called her a role player, not a star, certainly not a superstar, not a legend. Hey, you remind me of Antoine Jamison. Oh, nice player. Put up 20,000 points. No one's really heard of him. I think Antoine played at North Carolina. Anyway, Shaq slams Angel Reese to her face.
This combination of Bird's subtle warning and Shaq's unexpected critique painted a picture that was hard to dismiss. High-profile figures within the sport were effectively telling Reese that her career path might need adjusting. While her off-court engagements, podcasts, sponsorships, and red carpet appearances had certainly expanded her brand and visibility, they were starting to overshadow the core of what sustains an athlete's career: performance and commitment on the court. The implications were clear. The road to long-term success isn't paved solely by brand building or social media influence. Bird's career serves as a blueprint for sustained excellence. Her reminder was more than just advice. It was a roadmap for staying relevant and respected in a league where competition intensifies with every season. So, where does this leave Angel Reese? The next season will be a defining period. As the spotlight on Reese continues to grow, the key question is whether she will adjust her focus and prove she's more than just a headline.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
While Angel Reese's practice video sparked debates, Caitlin Clark's offseason has been sending a very different message. Videos of Clark working out highlight drills that target her in-game strengths and areas she's determined to refine. Long-range three-point shooting, mid-range floaters, and strengthening her left-hand drives. Footage of her repeatedly working on quick-release shots and perfecting her footwork showcases a dedication that runs deeper than occasional practice sessions. It's no wonder that analysts praise her as embodying the blueprint for a professional athlete focused on long-term excellence. This level of commitment sends a powerful message. While Clark also engages in public activities, like attending charity events or occasionally sharing her passion for golf, these appearances never overshadow her main pursuit, basketball. This balance doesn't happen by accident. It reflects a calculated approach to blending brand building with the discipline needed to maintain peak performance. Fans appreciate this balance, seeing Clark not only as an elite player, but as someone who respects the grind required to stay there.
I just come out here and try to, play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
The admiration for Clark's approach isn't just fleeting. It's setting a benchmark. Her routine resonates with fans and teammates who value effort and progression. Clark is always 2 steps ahead, one analyst noted. She's not just playing to stay relevant, she's playing to set new standards. This mindset aligns her with the discipline of legends like Sue Bird and Candace Parker, athletes who mastered the art of building a public presence while keeping their core focus on being the best in the game. This example raises an essential question for Reese. Will she adapt and find a balance between the allure of off-court fame and the relentless training that sustains on-court success? Clark's off-season choices have positioned her not just to maintain her stardom, but to push it further, demonstrating that skill development and dedication fuel a legacy more than spotlight moments ever could. As we look ahead, this comparison highlights how different paths can shape careers in unique ways. Clark's meticulous approach is a reminder that staying competitive isn't just about appearances. It's about consistently proving that you're ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. Will Reese recognize this and pivot her focus? Or will the gap between their approaches grow? As we step back and look at Angel Reese's off-season journey, one question looms large. Will she make the necessary changes, or will her training regimen remain as confusing as her practice videos? The feedback has been loud and clear, from fans, analysts, and even legendary players like Sue Bird. The offseason is where players either bolster their game or lose ground. Caitlin Clark's relentless dedication serves as a pointed reminder of what true preparation looks like. Meanwhile, Reese's approach, filled with podcast soundbites and red carpet appearances, continues to spark debates. Is she gearing up for the next season, or just the next Instagram post? For Reese, the 2025 season could be the plot twist in her story. Will she shift her focus and prove that she's more than just social media? Or will her off-court antics continue to overshadow her on-court performance?
Imagine if your first-round draft pick had the season she had, the controversy she had, got injured in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie. Please.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's head down, just
ready to
go. You don't hear a peep from her. She cares about you got me wound up.
Fans are watching, some with popcorn in hand, to see if Reese will surprise them by actually honing the skills she needs, or if her upcoming highlights will be more of the same. Missed layups followed by quick sprints to the next public appearance. Sure, she's shown flashes of what she could be when focused, but those moments are as fleeting as her dedication seems to be. A season with more substance than spectacle could, against all odds, silence her critics. But at this point, even her biggest supporters are crossing their fingers more out of hope than belief. The real takeaway here? Reese's choices have the power to become more than just her problem. They're a lesson for up-and-coming players on what happens when brand building gets confused with actual growth. So, as the WNBA gears up for the next season, the ball is in Angel Reese's court. Will she have another season full of blooper reels? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.